Welcome to Health, Wellbeing and Lifestyle, where experts in the field inform, educate and inspire the community to be healthier, more balanced and live the lifestyle they love. Our first guest today is breathwork and life coach Christine Hart-Savage, and the topic we'll be discussing today is understanding overwhelm and sensitivity. Welcome, Christine.
Thank you, Megan. It's lovely to be here.
We're happy to have you, Christine. Christine, tell us a little bit about overwhelm and sensitivity. Do you have any personal experience with that?
I certainly have lots of personal experience with it. I've had a very interesting journey in my life with overwhelm, and it's been huge. So the first time I remember this feeling coming over me, I didn't know it was overwhelm and I didn't know it was sensitivity back then. Had no idea. I was actually very young. And I remember this feeling coming over me of confusion and thinking, I don't understand this world. Really did not understand this world from very young. And I was almost frightened of this world, because what I found is that people would be speaking certain words, saying one thing, and yet I was having this swirling feeling coming from, now I know, from the other person. But at that stage when I was younger, I thought it was me. And I would just feel always very, very confused within myself. And what I find is that sensitivity, there's a lot of sensitive people that don't know they're sensitive, but they really sort of, it brings up this feeling of fear and self-doubt within you, and you feel a bit rocked, like not steady and stable within yourself. So what I found over the years, in fact, it took me till my early 30s to actually work out what was mine and what was someone else's.
Right, so this was a feeling you recognised at that point.
Absolutely. I recognised it because I learnt to meditate and I learnt to breathe correctly. And when I was in those states of meditation, I felt really still and calm, incredibly calm inside. And then I'd go back out into the world. And if I met somebody who was really speaking one thing, feeling something else, I started to recognise, hang on, I was really stable a moment ago. Now I've got this swirling feeling happening within me that's uncomfortable, like really uncomfortable. That's not mine. And I started to recognise that my energy, if you like, or my sensitivity was, and we all have this, was radiating out everywhere and picking up other people's feelings. That's what it is. You pick up the feelings in the atmosphere around you that people are emitting out into the world around us, basically. So I started to really look at this and look at people who were coming to see me as clients and with anxiety. And what I noticed is, I would say 99.9% of them are what I would call a sensitive. So when we're sensitive like that, there's so many signals coming in from people everywhere and from our atmosphere that you really become quite overwhelmed. You really do. So we need something that's going to anchor us in ourselves, into our own being, if you like. Really ground you. Yeah. And for me, that was meditation, daily meditation, and breathing. So that really helps, because breathing is like an anchor that we can really use, because it's the one thing we're always taking with us. I really got to a point where I wasn't coping with anxiety. So the funny thing is, I had this little torn out piece of paper from The Age, I remember that, and it was on meditation. And I thought, what is this piece of paper? I don't remember ever tearing it out of the paper at all. And I kept throwing this piece of paper away, I thought, and it would start appearing again. And in the end, when I wasn't coping, I thought maybe this is a sign that I should learn meditation. So I went and I learnt meditation. So from then on, I meditated twice a day, every day. And what that did it enabled me to have that sense of knowing what was my feelings in my balance and what was someone else's. So I found that once I really recognised what was going on and understood the energies, it worked for me in my life, because when I was seeing people and helping people with anxiety or overwhelm or stress or whatever it might have been, I could feel their feelings and know where they were sitting and ask all the right questions to bring up their emotional state. So it's really actually worked for me. So there's a lot of very positive points about being a sensitive. It's when it takes us over and we don't know how to use it and it overwhelms us that it becomes a problem. It's very uncomfortable, but it really has a gift to it as well.
What advice would you like our viewers to take away?
There's so many things I could say. I think one of the important things that I will say, the first thing I would advise anybody to do is to learn to breathe correctly. Because when we're in overwhelm, the breath closes down. What I mean by that is you start to hold your breath a bit, it becomes more shallow and the body contracts in a bit more and the overwhelm takes you over. So if you could hold your balance by anchoring into your breath, even anyone listening now, if you just put your attention on your breathing and just see what it's doing, then deepen it. Just bit by bit, just deepen your breath. Just take it that little bit deeper, a bit rounder, a bit softer, a bit fuller. And that, if you do that even for about a couple of minutes, even 5 minutes, you will start to feel a calmness coming through you and your energy expands out a bit, your life force, your aura. And you feel in your body much more grounded and much more centered in yourself. So you can actually go out into the world and you feel a lot better about who you are. So it really does work with both parts of the brain, left and right hemispheres of the brain, the nervous system. It balances our energy. And that's proven now scientifically. But my breath, that is one thing that I have used up the whole journey to actually hold me balanced. It's a wonderful thing. And as I started to say before, we've always got it with us. You can't leave home without it. So we don't have to, where did I put my breathing? It's there. It's there with us the whole time. So it's a wonderful gift we've been given by life, and it certainly helps with overwhelm.
Thank you, Christine.
It's my pleasure, Megan.
If you'd like to know more about understanding overwhelm and sensitivity and Christine Hart-Savage, go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And after the break, we'll have another interesting guest with another interesting topic. Stay tuned. After the break, we have international meditation teacher and coach Daniella D'Amore talking about personal evolution and conscious creating. Welcome back. We have international meditation teacher and coach Daniella D'Amore here to discuss the topic of personal evolution and conscious creation. Welcome, Daniella.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Megan.
Daniella, personal evolution and conscious creation, what does it really mean?
Well, it's a big topic, really, and it's very popular at the moment, you know, with especially after the movie The Secret and various things like that, laws of attraction. But really what it means is, in my belief, of course, what it means is our own personal journey of evolution, you know, being the spiritual beings having this human experience, and how through using the universal creative energy to create into our lives, what we're doing is learning about our own power, our personal power. And the more and more we learn about our personal power, then the more we are evolving as these spiritual beings, right? Yeah. So it seems like a very complex, very deep topic, and it kind of is, but really at its core, the simplicity of this beautiful topic is just to remember that we are creators. We are creators. Like if the Creator created universes, created this world, created us, therefore in the likeness of it, therefore we're creators, right? So when we're creating, we are honouring that universal energy, whatever that is for you, whether you call it God or Buddha or whatever you want to call it. Whereas when we're not allowing ourselves to create through fears, various fears and doubts and insecurities, then we're really not honouring the Creator and therefore not honouring ourselves. So the more and more we can honour that in ourselves and take that power back, it's not selfish to do that. I think a lot of people think, oh, but I'm being selfish if I do that. No, you're not being selfish, because to love yourself and to honour yourself, then you know your power, you know who you are. And I think what happens then is we become kinder and more compassionate people. Core of this, it's really about us consciously creating, means that we are evolving as these beautiful spiritual beings.
Daniella, how could we apply this in our everyday life?
Well, you already do. You already do, whether you're conscious of it or not. And that's why I say conscious creating is about becoming conscious of what you do. And that, again, is about taking that personal power back and saying, oh, I'm creating this because I'm angry today, or I'm upset today, or I'm happy today. You know, we create all the time. Everything you have in your life right now, every single thing, you created it. Now, most of the things that we have in our life right now are good things, are really positive things, right? But we tend to focus on the things that are lacking or we don't have, right? So we think life's hard. So it's about remembering how, the power you already have and how you can build on that. And it is about, being able to go within. Tools like meditation, Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, all of these great tools help us to understand our personal power. And when we understand that we have the power to create things in our life, we stop blaming people. We stop pointing the finger. Well, I'm like this because of my parents, the government, whoever, right? We stop doing that because we're owning our power. So it comes down to basically self-responsibility. And when we're responsible for all of the thoughts and actions that we take, that makes us powerful. Makes us powerful. And we're powerful because we know who we are. We know what we want. We know what we like and what we don't like. And I guarantee, despite the more than 8 billion people on the planet, we all have different likes and dislikes. Not everybody wants the same thing. And even if they do want something similar, it's not going to be exactly the same. The beauty of that is you put your personal stamp on that. You're going to create it your way, and that's the beauty. And the world obviously needs it. So it does come down to self-belief, but we have a self-belief when we know that we are part of this immense, enormous, creative universe, and again, whatever you prefer to call it, and that we are born of that, and we have that within us, and we have that magic, we have that power to create what we need to create. And the more and more we know that, the more and more we live that, the more and more we align with that, then the more we are evolving as beings.
For the viewers at home, where's a good place to start?
Good place to start is to check in with themselves. So whenever anything is happening, good or bad, again, just stop and check in with yourself and just say, how am I feeling right now? Because even when we're creating good stuff, you want to check in and ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? Because you want more of that, don't you? You want to feel that more and more. How am I feeling? What am I thinking? What are the sensations going on? How is my body feeling? What's showing up in my life right now, right? Good, I want more of that. And the same when it's not going as positive as you'd like it to go, or there's situations, circumstances in your life that you'd like to change, stop. Just stop. Take a deep breath, check in with yourself and say, how am I feeling? What is happening within me? And let it come out. And you'll probably find that there's always some kind of fear, some doubt, insecurity that's there. And that turns into, fear. Nothing good comes from that, really. Right? So if we can come from a place where we're loving the moment, a lot of good's going to come from that. So the more and more we can stop and ask ourselves, how am I feeling right now? Like, what's going on within me? And be totally honest, then the sooner we're going to get through whatever it is we're going through and get to the other side where we can start creating, much more positive results or situations in our life. But not only that, we'll also look better, I think. We won't look so stressed and tired and frustrated, you know, and it just makes us happier people, right? Because the more and more we're in a calm place, the happier we are. And so again, we're going to make better decisions for ourselves. And from making those decisions, then we take action, and we take positive action, which is going to result in positive results, basically. So whereas if we make decisions from a fear standpoint, which under the heading of fear is lots of, you know, different uncomfortable situations, then if we make decisions from there and take actions from there, then the result cannot be positive. You cannot have a positive result from a not positive journey. You know what I mean? A negative journey will not provide a positive result. So it's along the way, and we're always going to have that little setback. You know, you might be going along going, yes, 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 and punching the air and going, I've got it, and then something will happen. Someone will say something to you, something will happen, and immediately we go straight into that autopilot, into that default. Oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm scared, or you're not feeling safe, or whatever it is that triggers you. But becoming conscious about that, you know how to move through that faster. You're not going to sit in it, not going to stay in it as long as you probably would, and blame someone else.
Daniella, that's such valuable information. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure.
If you'd like to know more about Daniella and personal evolution and conscious creation, please go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And after the break, we'll have another interesting guest with another interesting topic.
After the break, health coach and author Kaveri Sequeira is talking about sustaining a healthy lifestyle. So please stay tuned. Welcome back, and our next guest is Kaveri Sequeira, certified health coach and author, and today her topic is sustaining a healthy lifestyle. Welcome back, Kaveri.
Thank you, Linda. Great to be back.
Always good to see you. And today you're talking about sustaining a healthy lifestyle. Now, why is it important to sustain a healthy lifestyle? Bearing in mind, I guess you've talked to us about the human diet.
Yes, absolutely. So it's really important to sustain that human diet and healthy lifestyle, because you've worked so hard in changing and doing all the things that are required to have that healthy lifestyle. So you obviously want to maintain it. I've seen so many times where people go back to their old habits and behaviors within 3 to 6 months, especially if they've done yo-yo dieting, you know, with the different, you know, just get a crash result. But in 3 to 4 months' time, they're back, you know, eating with their old ways of eating and their patterns. Now, that doesn't happen when you follow the human diet, simply because you know how to deal with it, and also because the cravings are completely reduced because we're having natural food and there's not much chemicals. So your body is having a bit of a chance to kind of get that reset and really heal, and you're not having those spikes in blood sugars that's going to cause you to, you know, pile on those kilos. And you're eating seasonally, and that helps a lot, as I've talked about before as well, to give your body a break to actually heal. So when I kind of achieved my weight loss goals and my weight transformation following this human diet, what I personally did was join a support group. So I actually joined people who are actually on the same journey as me, and that community feel like made a massive difference. And also just being more, you know, just if you make a mistake and, you know, you do something or eat something that you don't want to eat and you feel like you've fallen off track, just get back on track. Don't beat yourself up. You know, that's what we do as well. And that doesn't help being healthy, because you're mentally stressed then. So yeah, that's why it's important. And I can share with you how you could do that.
Yes, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So that would be my question to you. How can we sustain it moving forward, and bearing in mind that the healthy diet, and also you mentioned the emotional eating aspect.
Absolutely. So how do you do that? As I've already mentioned, you know, join a community of like-minded people, because when you're in community, you have that accountability, and having that accountability really helps. And don't beat yourself up. Like if you've gone off track, recognize it, and get back on track. And the emotional hunger is really a big one for us to, like a life event happens and then you like, okay, let me just trigger that behavior. That kind of triggers the behavior to go eat something that you would have had the last time you had that life event. So my suggestion is walk away, go drink a glass of water, do some meditation or deep breathing. That'll actually help you not buckle in and fall off the rails. The other thing is, you decide the person you're going to be. You literally change your mindset around food, and you literally change who you are or identify with. For example, if someone asks me, do I smoke today? I say I'm not a smoker. That's my identity around smoking. So like for that, you can have that same identity around food. You can say, I don't eat refined sugars. Or you could say, I don't eat dairy in my diet. When you are that person, when you identify with that, then it's very easy to say no to the bad habits coming back in. So when it comes to healthy lifestyle, then why people are so happy that they've have it, and then why do they not follow it all the time? The reason is because there's some sort of life event that's happened that kind of triggers old ways of eating or old behaviors, and they kind of just fall into bad habits again. The other reason is they probably don't have the support network that's kind of required to keep them accountable to maintain that healthy lifestyle. The biggest reason though is that they haven't identified themselves as a person who's like healthy and eats certain types of food, and the identity is not associated 100%, or it's not reinforced 100%, and that's probably why they go back into old ways of eating. So my suggestion for that, I'll cover off in the tips, is how they can actually do that better.
Oh, wonderful. And so from that, then what would your best advice, your top tips for our viewers as a takeaway from today?
Absolutely. So my best tips, if you've already achieved like sustainable weight loss and you're happy with it, and if you're following a very healthy lifestyle already and you're worried that you're going to put on weight, is to make a list. This is a food list of what I do eat, what I don't eat, and I will eat sometimes. Make a list and see, is this something that I want to associate as a person, as an identity of someone who eats, 3 chocolates a day? Or you could just say, I don't eat chocolate. It's your decision, but you are now aware of what is good quality and what is not so good for your health. You get a choice. This is food, what food freedom is. You make a list of what you associate with something that you're going to eat regularly, something you're not going to eat regularly, and something that you eat sometimes. And that way you are not going below the line. You're not, making a mistake. And if you make a mistake, guess what? Just get back on track, because guilt and shame around this doesn't help us maintain a healthy lifestyle, because healthy lifestyle also includes your mental health and emotional health. And yes, and drink your 7 to 8 glasses of water. Have healthy community around you, and that will certainly make a big difference.
Thank you so much, Kaveri.
Pleasure.
And for more information on Kaveri and sustaining a healthy lifestyle, but then please go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And for now, we'll say bye-bye and we'll see you next week. If you'd like to know more about our show, please like our Facebook page and also subscribe to our YouTube channel.